What's going on, guys? We're here. We're live. Welcome to a brand new Poker Live podcast. My name is Joe Ingram, one aka Chicago Joey. Before we get into things today, guys, I want to say a couple things. You can find the podcast on iTunes, search Poker Live. And I know we're going to have some new visitors to the podcast today that may have never seen or heard of the podcast. So kind of what the Poker Live podcast is, I have some of the best poker players on the internet that play live poker, tournaments, cash games, a mixture of people, and have them on. We talk about life, talk about love, talk about poker, and pretty much all the most popular poker players in the world have been on the podcast. Daniel Negreanu, David Williams. Those are just recent ones. Those came to mind. Phil Galfond. So if you want to check those out, you can find them on my YouTube channel, or you can find them on iTunes as well. And this podcast is going to be sponsored. You know, we're trying these new things, Chuck. We're trying this sponsor thing. This podcast is sponsored by I got to get this correct, the Chess Federation of Eastern Europe. The Chess Federation of Eastern Europe, been known to be putting on the most competitive chess matches of all time in Eastern Europe. I'm going to be out there in December 3rd in Bucharest, in Romania. I'm going to be hosting a chess seminar where we're going to talk some chess. We're going to go out on the town in Bucharest, and we're going to go find some competitive chess matches. And that's going to be happening December 3rd in Bucharest at the casino out there. And yeah, let me know if you want to attend that. Let me get into today's podcast, man. Joining me today is a young gentleman who I met earlier this year, and I met him at a live stream poker game of all places in Akron, Ohio. I went out there with my buddy and Adrian Fenix. Bart Hansen was doing some commentary for the event for Poker on Air, and there's this older gentleman sits down right later on in the game. He's smiling, real happy guy, just having a great fucking time. I'm like, all right, cool. He's friends with a couple other guys. Shout out to Moki, shout out to, I don't know what his nickname was, Cowboy or something. Austin, yeah, shout out to Austin. So I sit down, this guy sits down. He ends up stacking me, of course, I'm making some fucking terrible play. Whatever, it's okay. We'll talk about it. It's fine. Afterwards, we go out to eat. We all have a good time. Chuck's telling us stories, man, telling us about, back in the day, about, gambling and very, very, very awesome stories. I'm like, man, I need to get Chuck on the podcast at some point in time. And kind of ever since that point in time, it was earlier this year, he's always been the guy who's really supported me and everything that I've been doing with my podcast, with my content. He sent me sends me a couple messages, sent me a message when I was in Vegas, when I was like really out of it during the series. That really boosted my spirits up, that I really appreciate a lot. And yeah, man, I just want to have him on, talk some stories, kind of get his perspective of the poker world, of the gambling world. And yeah, man, let's we got Charlie Snyder in the house. What's up, Chuck? Welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Thanks, Joey. Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I like what you do, and I appreciate it, and you got the passion for it, and it's really cool. It's really cool to hook up in Vegas and all that. I like your show. I like when you have, all the different poker pros on, I love the game. I have a passion for it. I wish I was younger, because I really dig the game, and it's just, it's fun watching. It's fun watching the game, and people don't understand, like, who are not in it, how hard and difficult it is in a tournament. Especially the big ones, the WSOPs or the WPTs, that you play in those tournaments, you grind for days. And man, it's to place in the money, high up, in the 20s and the 10s it's so difficult. I don't care who you are, how great you are, you know what I mean? I realize Fader's unbelievable. But like he said, even for him, it's, gets to him. It's a grind, man. It's not easy. Your head's always constantly thinking. So your mind never rests, because you're always running those hands through and through. So yeah, I love the game personally. I've only been playing 7 years, Joe. Not quite as long as you.
But you're playing 7 years, but you've been kind of in the gambling world in some capacity for how long now? Because you're 57 now. I feel like it's like 40 years, maybe longer, maybe shorter.
Really, at least 40 years, but really when I was young, I've been driving cars since I was 12 years old. So
wait a second.
12
years. Where did you grow up? Did you grow up somewhere in Europe? Did you grow up in Romania, where I'm going to be having the chess seminar?
Buddy, good old city, good old Rochester, New York, the city of Rochester, New York, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we were going in bars when we were like 14.
Wait, that's definitely against the law. I don't care where you're at.
It is, but when we had this unbelievable neighborhood that we grew up in. Everybody knew everybody. And it was, we used to hang out at a place called Carter Playground. And I have to mention that because that's where my life really was. Playing sports 24/7. And then, you know, I had some things happen to me and kind of was out on my own. Was homeless at 15. Got mixed up with some people and kind of hung on to them and learned a lot of shady things, let's say. And that kind of was where I started, like the whole gambling thing, because I would watch, we'd go to the after-hour gambling joints, and you'd watch these guys, you know, they're playing blackjack. They're playing 10 grand a hand. I mean, you know, this is 1970-something.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a lot. It's like that's like $75 million in 2016.
That's right. That's a lot of dough there. So as a young kid, I seen all this. And, you know, I'd do certain things for certain people, and I'd make a little money here and there. And I actually learned gambling from a 81-year-old gentleman who showed me some things and kind of taught me what to look for and what I needed to do in order to be successful. Not to say that it always works, but he taught me a lot of things about, you know, gambling, percentages, numbers, stuff like that. So, you know, one of his first ones was, you know, why do you want to bet a favorite all the time? You know, there's no value in a favorite, really, when it comes down to it. You know, betting an underdog, you know, you're 66% chance to win. So that puts things in my mind, right? Because they don't have to win to win.
Don't have to win to win.
Correct.
That's a great model right there. You don't got to win to win. Okay.
That's correct. You don't need to win as long as that number covers.
Dare I say GTO right there, man. That's some GTO
correct.
stuff.
So a lot of that's something that I always went by and have gone by, and it's paid dividends. So
you started sports betting when you're how old? Like 15, 14, 16?
15, 16, yeah.
Okay, so 15 years old, you started sports betting. So
yeah, $10 at a time, Joe.
So have you been a professional? Just how you've been making a living now for the past, I don't know, like 41 years too?
Let's say not a living, but it has helped. It has helped our family. Yeah. So, yeah, I haven't, you know, I don't make millions a year, but we do a lot of vacationing and we buy nice things, and, you know, we were able to afford a few nice things, and, yeah, you know, you can't get too deep, you know, because the IRS is out there.
Uh-oh, listen, we ain't making any jokes, man.
No jokes, kid.
I'm keeping shot. I'm not, listen, you've got to change the subject. I'm just going to sit here and see if you change the subject. You got to say something else.
That's funny.
I can't joke around. I can't say anything. All right, so you've been sports betting mainly. Obviously, did you ever get into other gambling games like craps or blackjack or?
Blackjack was, that was the game. I learned how to play blackjack. Someone actually taught me. Some guy taught me the kind of the system, and tried teaching me like how to count cards. Like, I don't really know how to count cards, but I got a good feel of the game. But at the time, it was only one deck, you know, so it was a whole total different. You know, now there's 5, 10, whatever. So I always try and go play one deck. If I go to Vegas and actually play, I feel more comfortable. I actually did pretty well when I was there. So won a few hunds, you know, just trying to teach my daughter how to play. Oh, no, don't teach. I mean, she needs a little spice in her life, you know. She lives a very boring, as we've established in Vegas. So I met up with Chuck and his daughter, you know, shout out to, I had a very enjoyable time. Brought my buddy George with, shout out to Albanian George, as you like to call him. Albanian George, my man.
Yeah, George is the fucking man, first of all. George is a rich person I know. So shout out to George. He's doing well. He might win the main event again this year, 2 years in a row, which, no, I don't know if people know that, but now I outed him, whatever. It's okay. So I met up you and your daughter, and we established that your daughter lives, shout out to your daughter, I know she's watching. She lives a very boring life. But I mean, maybe if she gambled more, maybe it wouldn't be as boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I told her I got to take her to the casino with me, you know, over here. We have a Turning Stone Casino in Seneca near me. So, yeah, I got to take her more often, I think. But, you know, they don't listen. They don't listen. You try and give them a system. They don't want to listen to the system. Everybody wants to get rich fast, Joey. That's one of the big problems. They all want to get rich fast, and it's
they want to no, Chuck. They want to work. They want to put in years and years of effort for nothing, and then to be potentially rewarded in the long term. I think that's what they want to do.
Yeah, not quite, man. That's funny because I watch this happen constantly. You know what I mean? There really is no one really want to try and grind. You know, everybody wants to get rich quick. So, and I'm not a firm believer in that. It just doesn't happen overnight, man. You got to put the time in, brother.
I kind of like the aspect of grinding more. Like I almost don't, it's kind of weird. I don't want to get rich. I just want to keep grinding. I don't know. Like when I get up to that point, and that point is obviously different for everybody. But when I get to that point, it's like, man, I kind of like the grind. I like the climb more than the maintaining kind of part, which is kind of, I don't know if you're the same way, but how have you kind of approached your own history with gambling, with kind of all that?
Always, you get a bankroll, get a pretty decent bankroll, then you want to step it up. Sometimes when you step it up, you get punched in the face and you got to go back down. So that's one thing that I've learned about the grind. I know it's always there for me. So when I step it up, if I get punched in the face, I can get it back. Mm-hmm. But I'm willing to put the time and work in. That I'm willing to do. I mean, probably the last 4 days, I play a lot of 1-2 around our little area, and I pretty much killed it this last 4 days. Buying in for like 300 and cashing 14. Just stuff like that, and it's been happening quite a bit these days. And I mean, I'm running good, so that helps. But like I said, I'm willing to put the work of grinding in. If when I step it up, I lose. So you've been playing poker now, you said about 7 years. Guys in the chat, they're asking what his online name is. Guys, you might not believe this, but this is actually Barry Sweet, one of the top high-stakes PLO players in the entire world. As you guys know, he's remained anonymous for years. And as you guys know, I've talked to him before in the past. Shout out to Barry Sweet. He's probably watching. But he's actually here today. This is Barry Sweet. This is one of the top PLO players in the entire world. He's wanted to maintain his secrecy for many different reasons. But we're happy to have him here today officially on the podcast. So that is beautiful. I love you, Joe. That is beautiful. Very sweet. So you started playing poker 7 years ago, you said? Yeah, about 7, yeah. I retired and thought that I could make money doing this and talked it over with the wife. And she said, all right, go ahead and give it a whirl. And she said she'd give me $1,000 to start. So I took 200 and I haven't stopped playing. So that's how it all started, with $200. So what'd you retire from? What'd you do? What were you? I was worked in warehouse for like 32 years. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I had some, got some medical issues. I got a big medical issue coming now that I haven't told anyone, but we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, so that's how it all started, man, years ago. And I started playing a bunch of tournaments, and I did real well in tournaments. I didn't know how to play catch. And I was getting so involved with poker because I was doing really well. I mean, literally winning 60, 70% of the tournaments I played in. And no, that's not possible. I got to see the receipts. You better show me. I got to see some proof of that. Yeah, I mean, that's – yeah. I mean, and they're tournaments around here, man. They're not like, 25K buy-ins, GTO style, but I mean, that's tough. Listen, it's tough to win a tournament anywhere. At the local VFW, it's tough to win anywhere, man. Yeah, I do quite well, Joe. I really do. And I have to, because I have to have my own bankroll because the wife wouldn't allow me to take family money. So, and I've been doing that like my whole life of being married. So I've been married twice. I was married the first time for 15 years, and, had to have my own bankroll in order to play because I couldn't touch the family money, and got divorced. And now I got remarried to my beautiful wife, who is the most amazing person in my life, bar none. And she's been behind me 100%. I thought maybe I could turn to be a pro at 50 years old. And I seen a couple of my friends try doing that and packing up, selling everything, going to Vegas. Oh, wow. And coming home broke. So I thought that's probably not a good way to go with a family life. So I've always kept my poker playing within my family dynamics now. So I play, 3 nights a week now. I make the most of those 3 nights. And, weekends are for the family, and it works out well. I do okay. So I'm kind of targeted in places that I play. I had one kid last night when I played said he was coming after me.
Uh-oh.
So I backed him real quick, and he went out the door.
I mean, we've established you run very well. Listen, I ever play. I'm coming after you too. To play again. I gotta try to get my money. I gotta post that hand. I'm gonna post the hand that Chuck gave it to me pretty hard. With
that was pretty sick. 3-ball.
That was really sick. Oh, by the way, do you have a ghost in your house?
I don't.
Oh, the chair behind you. We're picking up on some paranormal activity behind you with the chair. It keeps moving and swaying or something.
No, my dog was on it.
Oh, okay. It was confusing. I was confused. Like the chair just stopped moving on its own. I was very. We weren't sure if it was some sort of paranormal activity happening there.
I got a yellow lab. He was just on it. He just walked off it.
So you mentioned you actually playing some live games with a guy that I know very well, and a guy that anyone that plays the great game of Pot Limit Omaha knows very well, which is Poker Party. Harry Kaska.
Yeah,
Harry Kaska, correct. Poker Party. You got a banana. He's a very legendary online Pot Limit Omaha player. You actually play with him, huh?
He's he's an eccentric young man.
He is.
He's a really good kid. Always kind to me. I like kind of eccentric people too. They're a lot of fun. So I seen him the other night at my buddy's poker place. They were discussing, and I turned and told him. I said, you and Joey need to play heads up. And he said it would be fun, and but I don't know what he means by it would be fun. Does he actually want to do it? But I think it would be awesome if you guys did it.
He probably wants to play 100 tables with me, which, I'm in. He's one of the only, in terms of playing that many tables at once.
Yeah.
I think he might be one of the only people that really compared. I mean, I think he was a little more, I don't know, because he played a ton of games at very high stakes, and he would have $1 million swings. And I think his sessions were crazy. I mean, they may or may not have been performance enhancing and, assisted in terms of how he made these 20-hour sessions and stuff like that. But he was a fucking animal. That guy's sick.
I know.
I don't say I don't just throw that term around oh, that guy's sick. I don't say that lightly. He's one of the sickest people in terms of grinding I've ever met and seen in my entire poker life. So
yeah.
Shout out to Harry.
Him and like I said, he's one of his friends is probably watching. My buddy Jay Shaw. I met those two guys a long time ago and just kind of started playing poker with them. But Rochester has some guys who can play. My buddy Hayden, he finished 10th in Colossus this year, so he picked up a nice chunk of change. We had a bunch of guys I played poker with who have cashed in different events, and I just think it's pretty awesome because we do have some good players in Rochester that I know people don't normally know or hear about, but we have some players, and it's for me personally, because I am 57, and thank you for the older gentleman thing. I thought that was pretty funny.
I mean, was I going to call you old guy? I don't want to call you old guy. You know what I mean?
No, I liked it.
You were an older guy at the time. I'm like an older gentleman. That's what
I liked it though. It was pretty good. But so when I see these young kids doing something that I would love to have done at the age of 20, whatever. But this game wasn't around for me at the time. Obviously, the popularity of the media, being on TV, you pick it up. And for some reason, I don't know. I picked the game up, man. I just really wanted to learn this game. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I want to play a Texas Hold'em. It's a great game. And so I try learning every time I'm out. I mean, I learn. I love playing PLO too. I'm not that good at it, but I just love those games. Dude, my favorite game, honestly, is Big O, the 5-card PLO. That's my favorite game.
One too many cards in that game for me, Chuck. I got to be honest with you. The great game of PLO, 4 cards I love, but Big O, 5 cards, you got to be I don't know, you must be a real degenerate. You like that game, Chuck. I mean, that's too many cards.
Joe, I'm so comfortable in that game. I have done very well in that game. Playing 1-2-5 at the Rio.
It's a soft game.
Crushed that game a couple times. The last 2 times I was there. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm more comfortable with 5 cards than I am with 4 cards. I don't get it, but You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. I don't understand it, but yeah. Very, very much more comfortable, and I don't understand why. I thought I would be a little bit more timid, or but no. But I like PLO. I mean, it's a cool game. They're all cool. All those games, the Omahas, Hold'em. I love the game, man. Period. It's exciting for me. It really. And once again, like I said, I love watching the young dudes go at it. I mean,
so when you say you like that, what do you like watching? Like, do you like what's your
strategy?
What's the way that you consume poker content to where you watch guys go after it like that?
Just strategy and thought process, and what would I do? Would I do the same thing they did? What position are they in doing it from? What would they be calling with? I mean, I go through all this stuff in my brain all the time, and I'm not a high roller player. I'm not, once again, 1, 2, 2, 5 is probably all that I've been playing lately. I mean, I played 5-10 a few weeks ago at the casino, did okay. But, I just learning at a constant, and that's one thing I try and do in the game is I try learning every time I play someone. Playing you, like when we were driving out there, all right, so I'll be truthful. So I was calling you names. I said, I'm going to punk this guy. No, I'm kidding.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Okay, man, look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to hype yourself up a little bit.
No, it was, I tell you what, I was a little nervous, and I talked to Austin and Hayden, we're driving out there, and, when you say professional player, I knew who you were. I knew who Adrian was. I mean, for some guy, some family guy who plays not huge stakes to come out there, it was, I was a little nervous. There was no question in my mind. But once I sat at the table, it just was like, if I cut you with a knife, you're going to bleed the same as I am. So
exactly, right? Yeah.
It's mano a mano now, and how do I work against someone who is so much better at the game, and how can I make myself be better against that person to try and win a hand against you? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, because in order to be better, you have to play the people that are better than you. And I've been like that my whole life as a young kid playing sports. We always played against the older guys. They would beat the hell out of us. But it was a great learning lesson, and we became the older guys one day. Mm-hmm. Younger kids wanted to beat us, and so on and so forth. And I do that in poker, is I love just watching the strategy, going up against people who I know are better than me. There's guys who I play with that are better than me, and I know they are, but it can only make me better, and that's the challenge for me. I love it. I just love that adrenaline flow, especially when you snap someone off. That's
I mean, yeah, obviously for during the session that we played, you attempted to smack yourself in the face by getting it all in for a few hundred big blinds with 20-some% equity, and luckily PLO is a rewarding game sometimes, and it rewarded you with the pot, and I can obviously I can never forget that now. So because I was sad. I don't forget the words either. So you were very kind and graceful. Instead of calling me like names that I've been called before, you were like, "Gotta love PLO." Hey,
and that was your comment. No. That was your comment, and I thought, awesome. That was like, dude, I know you mean I'm an asshole. I understand that, but no. So Joe, here's what it was. Is I was actually free rolling because I was up like 1,500 or something like that at the time. So if I lost, I was only going to lose like 1K or 1,200. So I figured I'm free rolling 2 pair. I knew you snapped off the straight on the turn. I said, I get it in. It's going to look good for you or me, and I just got lucky. I mean, we all know how the game is. I got lucky.
Do you remember how big according to the tape, because it's on live stream, it says it was like, it's not as big as it says it was. It says it's like $6,000. It's not $6,000. There's no chance it was that.
It was 2,200 and something.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was like a little under 3K because I was still winning after it, but
yeah, you were still winning at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I was eyeing that big session. I just stacked Adrian. Adrian making a fishy play with aces. Shout to my boy Adrian Poppy.
Yeah,
and I had the hearts in my eyes. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm about to take Chuck to the cleaners here. Bang bang, and then
3 ball in the river.
wasn't meant to be. But I mean, all I can do is smile. Like, I don't know if I lose, I don't like. I mean, whatever, man. If I'm gonna lose, I'm more than I was more than happy to lose to you, or lose to some of our guys in the game who I liked. I don't know.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I just it was just a cool experience that it all worked out for me personally. It was a cool experience for that to happen. Like, that kind of like my World Series moment in a sense. You know what I mean? Not really, but it was enjoyable, and just being in that atmosphere with you guys was so much fun. And I know what it feels like now to like hit a hand like that, and it's just really, it was weird, but it was cool. But you showed a lot of class, and a lot of you're a cool dude, man. You're cool people. I don't know. Like I said, I appreciate you having me here, man. And you're a man of your word. You're a good person. And, anybody, like I said, looks at you negative, they don't know you. So
I appreciate that, Poppy. I appreciate that, my friend. Let's so you're in Vegas this summer is when I saw you out there. What was that experience like for you when you go to the World Series? What's your approach to going out there? Are you playing tournaments? Are you playing cash games? You're not going to a strip club, obviously, marrying a guy like yourself. Wait, maybe I think you actually, go ahead. You tell a story.
We were supposed to, but I don't know what happened there, Poppy. But my daughter was with me, so we'll take it easy on that one.
I'm not saying anything right now. You go ahead.
No, but going out to the World Series, that's just really a cool event for me. And I look forward to just going out there and playing some tournaments, try and see how I can do. I didn't do very well. I made like $2,500 in cash, so I did okay in cash game.
Do you ever lose? What's happening here? I never heard you had a losing session in your life.
Joe, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I have very few losing sessions. I really do. I know I'm not trying to blow my head up or think I'm the greatest dude in the world, but I don't have a lot of losing sessions. I really don't. I don't. I mean, I will tell you, my last 7 sessions, I think I lost once, and I think it was $300. So, 6 sessions I make, anywhere from 200 to 500, maybe 1,000 here and there, and that's in one. That's just doing 1-2. I mean, that's, I was playing 2-5 at one time, and one place I played. I mean, I made $10,000  1 month just playing 2-5. So, yeah,
we need to get you online. I'll stake you online wherever you want to play, man. I'm ready to.
I mean, it's a really, it's a weird thing. I run good. And I've had people tell me I have a target on me, which I know because I do win a lot. People don't like that a lot. They kind of don't like people like that, which is okay with me. So, people do come after you, and you have to be aware of that. And like I said, my bankroll has to come from me. So every time I have to defend my bankroll, and I know they're coming, and so I have to play a specific way. Now, I used to be a nit beyond belief. I was the nittiest of nits. I mean, I had a kid run out one time being mad at me and tell me, "You can't only just play aces and kings your whole life." This was after I flopped a set of jacks. So I said, "No, I played jacks this time, and I happened to flop a set on you."
Fucking nit. God, such a nitty comment to say too.
So
I'm insulted by that comment now.
I mean, so what I really have learned how to open my game up a bit more now, and it has, and also the experience of, I understand the pot odds, I understand the formulation of hands and stuff like that. So I think something
we call that combinatorics, combos of hands. There you go. Now we're gonna add some lingo, bring it back to the game. I can teach. I know people are watching out here that are like, that are more amateurs. I can teach you guys the words to say if you want to sound smart about poker. All right. Yeah. You need to throw combinatorics, equity, ranges, range advantage, range merging. You need to throw terms like this, like turn c-bet percentage. Like you want to just drop these terms and really GTO. You want to scare motherfuckers when you're playing, right, Chuck? You want to be like, well, 75% against. It doesn't even matter if you're right. the combos of hands you have when you bluff there, I got to call 34% of the time for it to be GTO, and I just called, and you bluff, and I won the pot. You say something like that, they're going to get scared of you, man. They're going to think you're one of the best. Joe, they're going to think you're you're going to think you're an online wizard, Chuck. You say something like that.
Joey, you have got me like down to a science, bro. If anybody who plays poker with me is watching, which I'm sure there are, they're laughing at that because I do that to them.
No,
like,
really?
I snap off. Yeah, I mean, I use all the terms. I got all the terms. But the funny thing is, some of the people I play with, listen, I play with some very, very bad poker players.
Bang, bang.
Real variance, unbelievable poker players that they're willing to give you their money. I mean, so bang, bang. Yeah, so there's a certain way you have to play them. But the thing about that is, I feel I have an advantage on them because I do know the numbers and I understand the equity in hands, and I understand when I should be making a call, and I understand when I should fold, and I run these things through my head, and I do all that. Guys I play against don't do that. They have no idea.
Bang, bang.
They're calling me down with one pair, and I'm hitting top set. I mean, so
how do you flop tops every goddamn time? You're such a God. I can't handle these nits, man. You gotta listen. You want to really add it to the next level, guys. You gotta put the glasses on and start talking about. Oh, I mean, I got 37%, and I'm raising 70. Like you want to put the glasses on for emphasis, guys. You guys always need a pair of these glasses to wear to your live games for sure.
Hey, listen. So I always say top set because I have guys who want to see my hands. I never show my hand. I never have showed my hand. The only time I've ever showed my hand is the nuts, but I don't ever show my hand. So they always want to know what I had. And I always tell them I had top set. A friend of mine who was helping me with poker always told me to say that. Just tell them top set.
So you've been lying to me. They tell me you got top set. You ain't got top set, huh?
Exactly.
That's fucked up, bro.
I know. But, I just, it's the questions that people ask you while you're, raking in the pot. Like, just make the call and you'll find out. Or, you know what I mean? So there's questions I don't want to answer. And so usually I wear headphones, and if they do ask me the question, my answer is always top set.
Please don't tell me you bring an iPad to these games.
No, I just use my phone.
Okay. I mean, that's bad too, but are you not one of the Gregorious? Are you not one of the Gregorious men in the game who's talking jovial, drinking a margarita, maybe eating a quesadilla or something like that? Are you not that type of player?
Nah, headphones on, music on. I don't want to hear people comment. See, the problem is I can't keep my mouth shut, Joe. That can be a big problem.
I can't see that. I can't see that.
It's a big problem at times because people want to talk poker that really don't, like you said, using the words, they really don't know, but they try and tell you. So I don't want to hear any of that. So I always put my headphones on, and I watch people talk at me while I have my headphones on. Mm-hmm. I can't hear anything. But every time I take them off, every once in a while, someone's got to say something. And, this is my favorite line, Joe.
Okay.
I'm going to use top set. I knew you had top set, but I had to call. What? What does that mean? I don't understand.
Well,
you have one pair.
By the technical term in that situation, if you want to get, I don't know if they're thinking about this, but they may feel like they are high enough up in their range to justify making a call against you. So even though they knew you had top set, by the numbers they ran in their head, they decided that this is a spot they have to actually make the call, and the call is going to be GTO.
You missed the bad player part, didn't you? These are bad players.
Listen, I don't know. I'm not underestimating my opponents. I never play with these guys. I'm assuming these are some knowledgeable kind of guys, and I'm assuming they ran the combinatorics through their mind, and they say, you know what? I got to make a call here because I want to protect my range in this spot in the future against Chuck, because I don't want Chuck over bluffing this spot, over betting this spot. I want him to know that I'm gonna call him down in this spot, so he better have it.
Yeah, I don't think they think like that, but I appreciate that effort. Nah, they're not.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what the game's like. I'm just, I'm throwing
Dude,
things in the air.
I want you to come. I want you to come to Rochester. Come play one time. and come stay at the house. I'll take you around town. Go play a couple games. You'll see what it's like.
Do they play? Is there any PLO games there? I'm in for. I'm actually. Oh, actually, I'm gonna be in New York. I think maybe in a couple weeks. In New York City, technically, for something.
Cool.
So
I'm not in New York City, but anyways, get a hold of me and come stay at my house, and we can go to Austin's and play PLO on Friday night.
Oh man, I love Austin. His name's Andrew. I don't know why we keep calling him Austin, but it's not his actual name, so I don't know why we call him that.
I don't even know how that came up, dude. So that's something I have no idea about, So I don't know where Austin came from. I don't know. He doesn't want to put his name out. I don't know.
I think he just wanted a persona for the game.
Yeah. I have no idea. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But listen, man, I love this. I love what you're doing here. You keep on bringing all the poker players on your podcast, and I love seeing what's happening in the poker community. Like, I never knew how many people kind of like owed other people money and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So
we all owe money out there. Chuck, everybody owes money. If you don't owe money, you're doing it wrong, I think.
I don't owe money. I'm sorry. It's just me though. I don't want to owe money, Joey. It's not like that.
Kid, we need you mentioned before, growing up, you started gambling 15, you had a mentor 81 years old. Why don't you tell us a couple things that may have happened back in a couple things that maybe stand out in terms of experiences you've had that might be interesting.
Oh, wow. Well, we grew up kind of in the mobster world.
No shit. No, I wouldn't have thought that.
So there were some things that happened, around town. Actually, I lost a cousin to the violence of the mob. I shot like 6 times. So that's, life experiences like that I've had. My friend being cut open with a carpet knife, his guts hanging out, and being told like, don't say anything or you're next, So those are some of my experiences growing up as a young kid in life. Yeah, Joe.
What the?
There's a few experiences for you. But to get to this 81-year-old guy who used to teach me about gambling, he was one of the best guys I've ever met, man. He always used to buy me breakfast, and he used to talk to me about the horses. Now, I never got into the horses, but he would always send me over to put his bet in, like OTB, and then I would have to come back and sit down with him and wait to see if he won. Or so, and all that time I was with him, he would talk to me about gambling and stuff like that. So that's how it all originally got started. And I don't know, I did well with football, and continued to play like blackjack, and it was but it was rough early on in life. It was rough growing up early on in life. But no, for me, I feel like I'm on top of the world. Being homeless was tough. That was tough stuff.
So what do you think changed in your life that sort of set you on a path where it became a little bit less tough?
Truthfully, the 2 women that I married. Yeah. So my first wife, I was actually staying in her car for a few weeks, and it got tight, so I ended up sleeping in her dad's truck. Her dad caught me, invited me into his house. Now, you gotta understand, this guy is a strict Italian. They don't do those things for people, but he did, and ended up dating his daughter, and I ended up marrying his daughter. But I would tell you this, he would walk around, and he would cup his hand and show me his hand, and he always had 1 bullet in it. You know what that means, right, Joe?
That means he cut. I don't know. I can imagine what it might be.
Nice to his daughter. That's what you do. You be nice to his daughter, and everything will be okay. But really, he was a sweetheart of a guy, and they helped me get on my way. Started working in warehousing, started saving money, got an apartment, married his daughter. I had 2 children, my daughter Leah, who you met, and my oldest son Joey, who passed away almost 4 years ago, heroin overdose. So I think that's another reason why you've hit me so much, is because Joey is really implanted and embedded in me. And you know, it's been a tough 4 years, no lie. But you know, it's going okay, man. So then I got divorced after 15 years, and I got remarried to my wife Kathy now, who is my heart and soul and my life and my rock. And we have a son who's 15. His name is Cade, and she's been the one who's been backing me and telling me to go play this game of poker, man. And I just try and do my best at it and be the best at it I can. And it has done us well. It really has. So yeah, I love the game, man. Yeah, that's kind of my life story in a sense.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, wow. So you were, I guess when you ended up getting taken and you ended up marrying your first wife, did you still gamble on the side then? Did it ever become some sort of a problem, or was it something that may have set you back financially in terms of, you know, going to work, making money, gambling, losing the money?
No. I never lost. I don't lose, Joe. I don't lose. I always had to make my own bankroll and my own money. Even in my first marriage, I wouldn't take money from my family in order to gamble. I would quit gambling, and I like it, so I have to maintain it. In order to maintain it, you got to figure out a way to win.
Right.
If you're not consistent in winning in gambling, you're going to lose and you're going to be out of it. So now that's why, you know, I tell people that I'm like probably the truest grinder in the sense of grinding, because, you know, I don't make that $1 million. I don't make that $500,000, but you know, I do okay. And it's been good for my family and myself. So, you know, in order, you know, I got to make a bankroll. I go to Vegas, I do almost anything I want. So, you know, I'm doing that on my own, playing, you know, 1, 2, 2, 5. I mean, so
right.
I have to be pretty consistent in something. And you know, obviously the sports betting too. I mean, I make money there, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to make, you know, you don't have to be someone, I should fix that. You don't need to be someone who makes $500,000 to Jesus Christ, it's terrible. You don't have to be someone who makes $500,000 to be someone that's winning at gambling. You can make 100,000, 50,000, 25, 30. I mean, you don't necessarily, you know, like have to have these aspirations for people out there. Like if I'm not making 500K or $1 million, I'm not doing well. You know, you're still doing extremely well, and you're still in the top, you know, 1-2% of people who are playing poker or gambling in general. If you're winning any money, you know, it's like that's
correct. Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, once again, I took $200 7 years ago, and I haven't looked back. I mean, I don't know many people that could say that. I really don't. And playing poker, I'll say that. I don't know anybody who's taken $200 and has played poker for 7 years.
I took 50 9 years ago. Well, technically I lost a lot before. Let's not get carried away. So I can't even say, I mean, whoever really starts, I feel like you start with this and you maybe lose it. And
yeah, I mean, listen, I you know, we bought a camper. I take money out of the bankroll to buy some things that we can use in the house, or maybe we go on vacation. But we always, you know, I always make sure that I make that money back somehow, some way.
Somehow, some way. Chuck, I feel like you got some stories that might be breaking the government terms of service in you, my friend. I don't know. I just like I got a feeling there's some stories that we can maybe talk about on the podcast that might like get somebody in trouble or something.
Well, I couldn't name names. I mean, you know, but
I mean, you already told us there's one story of someone getting like allegedly getting cut open and in in front of you. Well, give us one story. Don't name names though. Just give us something, I guess, then related to that.
Related to that?
On the gambling side of things. Not that I don't want to hear about any. We've heard enough people.
Yeah. Gambling side. Well, I mean, I watched this guy lose probably 100K playing blackjack, and he was doing it 10,000 at a time, 10,000 a hand, and I watched him go through 50K, and he got another 50 and came back and lost all that, and so he was supposed to pay that money back, and yeah,
boy. Here we go.
That wasn't very good. So you know, there's gambling stories like that, and then you know, there's there's other gambling stories like that. So it's not a, back in the day, it wasn't exactly the kindest world.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of, at times it was brutal, Joe. It was tough sometimes. And I used to see a lot of things, and so just things like that, just watching these old guys gamble when I was a young kid. And maybe I'd go get them a drink or make them a sandwich or something, and they throw a 20 in your pocket, stuff like that, and you go out, next thing you know, you're out with your boys, and, you're buying Tango, which is vodka and orange juice pre-mixed. And going out drinking it that night, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We used to race cars. I mean, we have what they call the Bay Bridge, and it's just a bridge over a bay, and we used to go on there and race when we were kids, and we used to do a lot of crazy things.
Sounds like it, yeah.
A lot of crazy things, yeah. That's why I'm lucky to be here right now. I'm happy to be here. I think I'm living the dream, and I used to hate people, Joe. I love everybody now, man. And I want nothing but good for people, bro. That's all I want. Nothing but good for people, man.
What do you think? What do you think changed in your life that you went from hating people to loving people to liking people?
I tried becoming a Christian. I tried following the Word of God. My mother and father-in-law are very much into the faith and the Word. My wife is. I try. I will not lie. I try. I try the best I can. Of course, I fall because I do. But I learned a lot. I've been in therapy for like 8 years. So I had a lot of stuff when I was a young kid. So all that stuff has come out. So between therapy, my mother and father-in-law, my wife, all the positivity that they give, it's helped change my life, and the people that around me I've changed, and it's definitely been a blessing, man. It really has. It's a lot easier to like people than to hate them.
No doubt about it.
And I think you get a lot more out of it. I mean, I do. I just feel giving the love to someone is going to help that person somewhere down the line, man. I feel if I wasn't like that, I wouldn't be in contact with you right now. That I feel. Because you wrote that one blog there that I really admired, because you poured out your emotion. I don't know if you realized it or thought about it, but you were very truthful with yourself and poured out your emotion. And dude, that touched me, man. I really was in tears when I read that. And that's why I reached out to you, is because I want to give back. My wife and I give a lot to charity. We do a lot for charities. And that feels really good to be able to give back, where I know what it's like to be given. Mm-hmm. So I'm in, and that's another thing that's helped me. Playing poker has also allowed me to give more to charities and help people who are less fortunate. My wife and I, we get a family, maybe 2 families every Christmas, and maybe a mother with 3 kids doesn't have anything, or a father who's hurting, or a war veteran, or whatever it is. That's what her and I do. It's important. It's important to us. So I really, being in the poker world, I know that they do like the one drop and stuff like that. I always wish the poker world would give more to charity, because I just think that there's so much out there that we could do for others. That's important to me. Really is. So that's why I admire what you're doing, man, and I want you to be positive and be into it, and like do not lose your drive and touch.
Haven't lost it yet. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it maintains.
Yeah.
I feel like I have some potentially exciting things coming up here in the future that are potentially working with other companies. So that could be new fun things that, I don't know. I just love making poker content. I love having conversations with people who are also passionate about poker, who are great at poker. And I know there's a lot of people out there who really enjoy just hearing poker being discussed, the lifestyle being discussed. And I don't know, like, I'm not really in it for much else but to just create stuff that's really, really fun, really good, that's entertaining to people, that gets them hyped up, gets them excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I get excited with poker. I do. When I get to the table, I'm ready to roll. I mean, let's play. I'm ready to do my thing, and hopefully it works out that night. And that's, I love hearing people talk about poker. I love that's one of the things I like about going to the WSOP is that's all you hear is poker.
Oh yeah,
walk out of the hall and all you hear really is the bad beat stories. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, David Williams. I know you had him on. I was watching him a little bit. My wife and I watch, The Chef, and
Chef, yeah.
He was on it there, man. And it was, he was a little biatchish at times, but
so I've been told.
I give the kid props for cooking. Yeah.
Guys in the chat, we're gonna take a couple questions from the chat. Let me get some shout outs. Let me see what we got out here, man. Kenya, hey, 2 things a 20-something person should do to be more content, happy at life. Chuck and Joey, to both of you, from your experience. Is that a question? Oh, actually, I get to that question. Let me get some more shout outs. Tariq, you're saying some weird ass comments, but I like weird people. What's going on, Puppy? Walujuski, what's up, buddy? Connor Murphy, what's up, Connor? Who else we got, man? Maxima D. Fred, do it for the show, Nathan E. Jim, my buddy Nasty Nate from Cincinnati. What's up, Puppy? Nasty Nate, man, from Cincinnati. Don't get him confused with Nasty Nate from Detroit, man. He's from Cincinnati, man. Balls deep. What's up, Balls? Give them to him deep, Poppy. Canister 74. Jeffrey Rutland. Hey, Puppy. Loving the GTO tank. Represent. Much love, man. Connor Bergen. Who else we got out here? Who else? Burning D-backs. My buddy Lee Jam. Liam Howard. What's up, Liam? Kid Snickers. Theo Dawawis. Who else we got? I mean, look, I'm not a professional name pronouncer, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. I try my hardest. I put my all into it. I put my heart into it. Theo says, "Hey Joe, been to watch your podcast the past week. Like 50% of total time in my past week is your content. Love everything you're doing. Shout out to the Poppy. Much love, man. Much love, baby. Much love. Let's see. You want to give any shout outs out there? Anybody Chuck might be watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think shout out to John Shaw if he's watching. All my boys from the Carter Playground, guys I grew up with. My baby girl Leah, if she's watching.
Shout out Leah. She better be watching. Leah, if you ain't watching right now, I'm gonna be fucking mad. She ain't watching right now. Chuck, she better be watching, man.
That's right. So yeah, that's
playing with the dog. She better be having the podcast on in the background, showing some support for her favorite podcaster, me, and her favorite father, you. So I mean. Right. I hope so, man. What was up with that comment you left on Facebook? You said, "I'm now your favorite poker pro." What's up with that?
Yeah, I know. What's up with that,
man? What's up with that? You're my favorite. You're my favorite poker player from New York.
I probably should have said that. You're always my favorite poker player. My favorite poker pro.
Nah, it's okay. I can't be. I'm the favorite podcast host.
I like Antonio a lot.
Antonio's cool too.
I like his game.
Who else do you like? What are your other favorite poker player guys?
I mean, I really like his game. I mean, just watching Fader in the freaking tournaments I don't know where the kid comes from, but he's pretty amazing. His brain is really amazing. We like watching Justin Schwartz just for him to blow up.
Shout out to Stealth Monk. We just had him on the podcast.
I really enjoy Sfandieri's game. We love the Viffer just because he's the Viffer. I mean, I guess I like more of those old school guys, the young ones now, the Mersons and all those, and they're all just so talented. It isn't, that's the one thing, people who are not into poker will not understand the talent that is really out there when you go and play in some of these tournaments. These kids are 20-year-old and their IQs are like 200. I mean, it takes a lot to really to grind a tournament and to win, to place in the money. I mean, the variances and, just it's tough. It's tough stuff, man. People who don't play poker have no idea how hard it really is. Oh, look at your beautiful blue eyes.
That's a really good point. I mean, I don't know. I got close to the light here. So when you put the light on, now you can actually see my back here. You can't see here.
Got your coconut oil?
You know what? I need to use coconut oil more because I'm getting old. It's I don't know. I feel like it's really good to put on your skin the coconut oil. I feel like it really helps. Are you coconut oil enough your body after the shower?
No, but I tell you what. You ask my wife. She's the softest person in the world. She'll give you tips.
Bang bang.
Yeah.
We need some tips, man. Let me take a couple questions here. Keen Yelly, 2 things a 20-something person should do to be more content, happy at life.
Content and happy life. You should be enjoying life at 20.
A 20-something-year-old person could do.
A 20-something? If he's single?
Something. I don't know if he's single. Who knows if he could be single. Let's assume advice or wisdom for a single or non-single 20-something-year-old.
Work hard. Stay humble. Those are my 2 biggest things these days. Work hard and stay humble. Save your money. And dig the chicks. I mean,
listen, I can't.
Dig the chicks, bro. I mean, no, you can't do anything. Oh, wait. No, you can. That's right. You can be with a girl? Yeah. Can you be with a girl? The bet you got with Fader?
Yeah, I just can't watch pornography and I can't masturbate, Chuck. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I can be with a girl though. I can't pay a girl, but I can be with a girl.
That's all right then. You're good.
Shout out to the stalk. Listen, shout out to I know they're watching. Shout out to the girls out there. I know they're creeping in the background. I love you. That's what I got to say about that. So
Ingram loves you all.
I got love for everybody. The big girls, small girls, tall girls, short girls, midget girls, African girls, black girls, white girls, Eastern European girls, Scandinavian girls, hood rat girls. Listen, I got love for everybody, Chuck. We're on here on the podcast. We like the weirdos. We like the stalkers. We like the guys who, they go out, they get made fun of by people talking shit to them, people bringing them down. People are bringing you down. You come here, hang out in the podcast, hang out in the chat.
That's right.
We're going to try to bring you up. Because, obviously, Chuck, a lot of people out there, a lot of people that you're close to, they're not really supportive. You tell them, I want to do this, they laugh at you. They say, you ain't doing shit. You can't do nothing.
Right.
And it's no matter how strong you are, it's still going to affect you to some degree. Like, even if you say, I understand that what this person's saying to me doesn't matter, it affects you. And I feel like that's my biggest piece of advice for him. And is to get your network around you is what really can shape the way that you think. And if you have people around you who are negative, who aren't bringing you up, who laugh at you when you try to dance, who laugh at you when you say, I'm going to try to do this, who aren't supportive of whatever it is that you bring into the table, whatever your fucking idea is, whether you want to be a professional mail boy, a lawnmower, you want to make YouTube videos about pumping gas in your car, whatever. If you have people around you who just laugh at you, who when you tell them something, they're like, okay, let me tell you what I'm doing. If you don't have someone who you can actually talk about what you're passionate about, where your creativeness lies, what your dreams are, what your goals are, and you don't have somebody really encouraging you and motivating you, that is what you need to find. That is my biggest piece of advice, is that your network is everything around you. And the people you have around you, if they're not hardworking, if they're lazy, if they're complaining, if they're bringing you down, you need to try to change that ASAP. That is my biggest piece of advice, and I promise you that is some of the biggest fucking advice that I'll ever give on the podcast. And
you're spot on, bro. I had a lot of negativity around me. I was an asshole. I got a lot of positive people around me, and it changed. I'm still an asshole. I'm just a good one now. But the people around you you're right. It's huge. It's huge. You're so right, Joe. Hit the nail on the head there, buddy. Exactly.
I do got to say, I do have love for the pregnant women as also, by the way. I forgot to say I got love for the pregnant girls too. Shout out to pregnant girls out there. And
until they come knocking on your door?
Define knocking on my door.
Hey, remember me? I'm pregnant now.
No, not pregnant by me. Shout out to the pregnant girls who aren't pregnant by myself. So... yeah, I'll timestamp that. But yeah, I think I honestly think that networking thing's something I've been thinking a lot about, Chuck. And I realized that when I keep people around me who are, and even for poker, when I keep people around me who, when you have a conversation with them, they like get you excited. Like if you have a conversation with me, I'm gonna get you excited. I'm gonna pump you up. You can ask anyone that talks to me on a daily basis. You tell me you're doing something, I'm gonna fire you to fuck up. And everybody needs someone crazy that's gonna fire you up when you say, hey, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. They're like, shit, man, what you doing to do it, man? What's your plan? And you're like, I'm going to go play basketball 13 hours a day. It's like, all right, man, let's go, man. Let's get on there, man. What can I do to help?
Right.
Like that. That's
right. Yeah, man. No, you're correct. Yeah. When we went to dinner, man, you fired the dinner table up.
I fired. I don't know. I get excited.
That was awesome. That was for sure, man. That was, I enjoyed it. Yeah. You shared and we were laughing and absolutely. I love the positivity. I love the positive flow, man. You know, because I had so much negative, and I was negative, and you know, now I'm like kind of on the other side of that, and it's God, so much better, man.
I agree, man. It's like a tough place to get to tell yourself to be positive, especially when you're going through adversity in your life and when you experience things that you know, not going right, not going how you plan, you're hitting some sort of wall, and you know you're broke, or you know, there could be a number of different things. Your girlfriend cheated on you, you know, you had something happen with your family, and obviously it's just, as you mentioned, and I totally agree with it. It's just nicer to just be positive, to be nice to people, to bring people up rather than trying to bring them down. And I think that because you can, you know, you understand is people do that to you and you know how you feel. And now you think about you doing that same thing to people. You know, I don't know. It's not a good feeling for me personally.
No, not at all. No, you're right about that. Hey, what's with the guitar in the background, the keyboards? You play?
You know, Chuck, I went on a learning binge one time, and I was like, I wanted to learn some new things. So I got a guitar, I learned the guitar, I learned how to play keyboard, but I haven't really been too much into music lately because it took up too much of my time. I was just like playing the piano all the time. And I'm like, what am I going to be, a professional piano player? Probably not. I started like studying music theory. I started studying music production, and it was just taking up too much of my time. And I've retired. I've retired this to the background, but I do whip out the guitar. I sometimes, if I'm going to do demonstrations, Chuck, I'll bring the guitar out. You know, maybe I'll show the shark to people. Show people how to dance with a woman. Maybe dance some salsa. Listen, I know I don't know how to dance salsa. Calm down, Tanya. But you know, I'll twirl the guitar. Hold on. Let me just show you that. Hold on a second.
Salsa.
Do a little salsa, kind of. So we'll twirl the guitar around, Chuck. We'll spin it around. We're spinning it. We'll put it on here. Might give it a lap dance one. I'm not going to do that, but we might give it a lap dance once.
Oh my God.
Listen, you can use your imagination. Calm down, guys. Use whatever. You know, the guitar's here. We might strum the guitar, sing a song. Welcome to the pod. Whatever, man.
That is too funny.
I got my hand hurts, but I don't know.
My God, you are too funny. That is awesome.
My hand hurts. I can't. I'm done. That's all I got. I'm retired.
You know, that's beautiful, man. That is absolutely beautiful. You're a very talented man.
No, I mean, I can't play the guitar. That was my talent.
Half of America can't play the guitar.
I'm good at picking the guitar up.
I'm
a strong picking up the guitar. Okay, we'll leave it on this note. Chuck, give the people. You know, you kind of gave them a little something, but I guess give the people some parting words to go out on for yourself. Give them whatever comes to your mind.
Oh man, parting words. I guess what I would say is, if you want to play poker, man, you got to put yourself 100% into it. If you want to make money, you got to put yourself 100% into it. You got to learn, and you got to keep on learning. Don't underestimate anybody, and good luck at the tables.
Man, Chuck, honestly, you give such good shit. You give what you're saying. You've said 5 things this podcast that are some of the best pieces of poker advice that you've said 5 of them. And I didn't call action to a couple of them that you said earlier, but you've said a couple different ones. And what you just said right there is massive. And no one's gonna pick up. Maybe one person picks up on it. Maybe no one picks up on it. But what you just said right there is fucking massive. Not underestimating your opponents, not overestimating your own ability, not going into a game being like, these guys are awful, these guys suck, like, fuck these guys, I'm so much better than them. When they get lucky, you're like, oh, fucking this, you know, whatever. Not going in there with that mentality is massive. It's so huge, and it allows you to look at things in such a different light and a different manner that, I mean, that right there is one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could, you could really give anyone. You mentioned something earlier, which I'm going to call attention to, because it's the number one thing that I actually did with my own poker game that took me to the next level, which is play against better players, battle against better players. Yeah. Don't be afraid to get your head smacked up a side of the head. Yeah. Don't be afraid to get the stick in it, you know, whatever. Battling against them, getting better against the best players is that was the turning point of my poker career once I started doing that. Yeah. And you've mentioned that earlier, and I didn't want to call it out because I just want to see if someone picked it up, but that's huge. That's huge. And
yeah, I love it. And I always tell them, do you know the number one rule of poker?
Hold on. Don't tell them. Number one rule of poker. Number one rule of poker. What's the number one rule of poker? What you got? What you got for me?
Pay attention.
That's very true. And I mean, once again, you say pay attention, and people are like, yeah, no shit. But paying attention is
not just pay attention.
Massive.
Pay attention.
Right. Like not. I mean, you're kind of guilty of that. You're playing on your phone. Like you're not necessarily paying as much attention as you probably could be. It sounds like.
No, I'm not playing on my phone ever, bro. No, I just got music on and headphones, and I keep my head down and I keep it to the side, but I see everything everyone is doing, and it looks like I'm not paying attention to anybody. But I watch when that guy hesitates to go grab a chip because he may have a hand, or the guy who's bluffing who, looks at his cards again and kind of is scared to fire, but then he goes for chips and fires, and you snap him off with ace high. What?
Bang bang. I mean, ace. I don't know. Ace high call down. It's a nice call.
Yeah, I've had a few of those.
Nice hand, Poppy. Nice hand.
Yeah, I pay attention to everything, Joe. Every little bit. That's everything. Everything anyone does.
Mm-hmm.
I see people get nervous, in hands, and I take advantage of that. Or it's funny. I just made a pretty wild play the other night where I took kid off of 3 10s, and he said, will you show me the hand if I fold? And I said, sure. And I turned over queen high like a boss.
Oh no God.
I know I just had to do that. That was funny.
No, stop it.
No, dude, I'm not. Let me tell you, I'm not a fan of that guy either. Just let you know.
Oh man, we're gonna get him on the pot at some point in time, but
I'm a fan. I'm just letting you know,
I'll show you. Chuck, what's the friendly game? What's a friendly game? I'll show you. You want to? Yeah, I'll show you.
I got a monster. Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
I'm playing. I got a good hand. I'm okay. It's like, oh my God.
But yeah, so I mean, I know there's things I could do to the guys that I play with, some of the guys that I play with, because I have a specific image that I portray, and a lot of times when I play, that's my wife.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out to the wife.
Just awful British accent. Listen, Connor, don't fuck off, honestly, man.
Wife, hi. I'm on with Joey Ingram right now, honey. All right, I'll talk to you.
Hola, mami.
All right, bye.
Con la moza caramolacita.
She's my beautiful, beautiful wife. But yeah, there's an image you portray, and you can get away with things, and that's I do my bluffs, and I'm kind of systematic when I play. So I pick spots where I do things with specific hands. Like 7-4 hearts, I called the guy down and hit a 4 I flopped a 7 and hit a 4 on the river, and pretty much almost stacked them, and people were.
I don't think that's called systematic. That's called getting lucky, Poppy. There ain't no system about that. That's called no gamble, no future.
No future. That's what I've been telling them. No gamble, no future.
That's what that's called. No gamble, no future.
Yeah, I did it with Jack 4 diamonds, and it happened the same exact way. And I was like,
you can't be a nit playing a hand like a Jack 4 diamonds pre-flop, Chuck.
No, I'm not a nit anymore, buddy. I opened it up a little bit.
Listen, you don't gotta lie to us. I know you're lying to us, and that's okay. You're a nitty player, and I understand that, and that's okay. People are watching. You got an image to maintain. You want people thinking you're playing hands like Jack 4 and 7. We know you're not telling us the truth, and we're not gonna be fooled, Chuck.
I love it.
When you bet the river, we're making a tight fold, all right? We know you got it. You allegedly showed a queen high bluff. Listen, I know you had the straight there, okay? It's fine. It's okay.
It's exactly what he thought. Thank you.
You don't have to butter me. You don't got to butter me. You don't got to work me over like a turkey-based ham in the oven on a sweet potato pie on a Thanksgiving dinner. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Yeah. You don't got to work me over. I know. I get it. You're a tight player. Randy the Rock, tight Tony.
I used to be, yeah. So it's great because Joe, it is great when you do learn how to be able to play hands without having a big hand, and sometimes getting lucky. Absolutely, no question. But it is it's good to be able to do some things like that sometimes. Instead of just sitting back and playing the big pairs and waiting. I found out that I've made more money when I've opened up a little bit than sitting tight. So
dare I say
GTO.
Oh, there you go. Bang. That's what I mean.
Bang, bang. I love it.
Kit Sticker said Joey's gift of gab is improving with every pod, bro. I just don't talk in a lot of podcasts. I like, this is what I've learned about myself, Chuck. I just like listening, man. I like listening. I like asking questions, because when I talk, I get fired up. I start talking fast, and podcast. I like listening. I like taking in wisdom, taking in advice, taking in words that people got to say. And
oh, dude, you do fine, man. I like I said, I love it. I love the people you bring on. I love hearing your questions. You talk to them like, just a human being. It's just a side of them you don't get to see. And you bring that out of them. And it's great that you get fired up. I love that you get fired up, dude. I mean, that's
fired up right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best thing, man. It really is the best. I just, more people should be fired up. That's what I say. More people should be fired up.
Listen, I'm gonna tell people out there right now. If you need to get fired up, send me a message, man. I'm gonna send you something. Send me a message. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on I don't know, wherever the hell you find me. Find me somewhere. Send me a message. I'm gonna fire you up. You tell me what's happening with you. I'm gonna get you fired up, man. I'm gonna send you something. I don't know. I'm pumped up right now. I'm excited now. That's it, Chuck. Let's wrap it up, man. If you want to find Chuck on Instagram, is at big swinging Chuck at 2417. Isn't that? No, I'm kidding. That's not his Instagram. Where can people find you, Chuck? You got Snapchat? What do you one of those guys?
No, I just got like Instagram. Or no, I don't even got Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I don't got any of that stuff. I got Tweet. I'm the cheese. I'm either the cheese.
Twitter? Wait a second. You've got Twitter?
Yeah, cheese or Ship the Sugar.
What the fuck, man? Why you not telling me you got Twitter, dude? What's your Twitter?
It's Ship the Sugar.
Ship the Sugar? What are you, Joe Hashem?
Why did he say that?
Pass the sugar. What are you talking? Come on.
A friend of mine used to say that, so I thought it was pretty cool when you rake a pot and say ship the sugar. I like it.
Oh, ship the sugar. What the? Oh man, nice. Look at the. Oh, nice. Poppy talent should not be wasted. Thank you. Let's retweet that. Much love. Much love, Poppy. When are we going to Columbia? I heard it snows there.
Those were the days.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Chuck, much love, buddy.
Listen, much love to you, man. Once again, thanks. And you're doing a great job, brother. And we'll see each other. I'll be talking to you.
Sounds good, man. Guys in the chat, I'll be back soon. Maybe be back on Saturday with my buddy Mike Bacanti. Next week, Jason Moe's coming back on. Mike, I'm trying to get my buddy Adrian Fenix back on too as well.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. You guys, much love. If you tuned in, hope you had fun.
Give Adrian some love for me, man.
Adrian, show a little love to the Colombian Mamacitas for Chuck, man. We're out of here. Peace out, guys.
All right, brother. Thanks. See ya.
I'll see you, Chuck.
Bye, buddy.